take a look behind the scenes and enter the impossible for the Between Two Minds podcast with our hosts, Judge Mentalist and Bernardo Rodriguez. Can they really tell you what you're thinking? Get ready to take a look behind the scenes.
Oh, that wasn't supposed to loop there. Hey, friends in the hypnosis world and beyond, this is Judge Mentalist, the host for the Between Two Minds Behind the Scenes podcast. Since you're seeing just me, again, it is me doing another exciting preview for the upcoming Michigan Hypnosis Conference. That is September 12th through 14th at the Greektown Casino in Detroit, Michigan. If you have not registered yet, that information is right there below my lovely, wonderful face. Get registered. I know that price is going up at some point in time. Also, for anybody who saw last week with Michael Brody, today is the last day I believe he's making his selection for his scholarship, sponsorship, or what have you. He is sending one person to this conference for free, at least covering the registration. You still have to get yourself there and put yourself up. So if you have not connected with Mike yet, please make sure you do so. That's a fantastic and wonderful offer, and really should be taken advantage of. And that's really a great lead into our next guest today. For anybody who is unaware of how the Michigan Hypnosis Conference works, and maybe you haven't seen any of these talks, you've noticed or haven't noticed, if you haven't seen them, that I am speaking to a variety and a wide range of both clinical practitioners and entertainers, and some folks who do both, because the Michigan Hypnosis Conference blends those two, is aimed toward and does a fantastic job of creating synergy between these two, helps one group step across to become part of the other, and vice versa, and has done quite well for many, many people over the years. So I'm excited because this is a talk that I'm personally interested in. And if I were going to do clinical hypnosis work, which who knows, maybe someday in my future, I will blend that in and use it as a great way to market my stage shows and vice versa. I would say that probably the two hottest areas of interest when it comes to clinical help is smoking cessation and weight loss. So today we're going to talk to a presenter and a practitioner who's going to talk to us about the Hypnotic Gastric, the gastric band for weight loss. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you Ruth Reaser.
Hi, everybody.
Ruth. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Happy to be here, where work for me is sitting here talking about hypnosis and some of the amazing things that can and have been and are continuously being accomplished by helping people tap into the power of their own minds. So let's normally I like to start with a little background. Let's give the elevator pitch on you, your experience, basically your qualifications of why anybody should listen to anything that you have to say on this topic.
Hi. I started into the hypnosis world in 2010 when I had lost a couple jobs and just wanted to get back in the market. So I went to a guy that was really nice, and he was very good. He got me interested in hypnosis. So I went to him and he did a few sessions, and I was like hooked. Not only did I go in there to lose the baggage, which I did, but I also was able to find a new field of interest for me.
Yeah.
So it was very good.
And one that would be very easy for you to buy into because you've experienced its power. Fantastic.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So you've been doing this since then. So what, about 15 or so years? And
yeah.
You're where are you based out of? So if somebody is interested in, obviously we're promoting the talk, but hey, somebody's going to see this out there in the world and be like, I need her help. So where do you do this?
I do it in Sterling Heights, Michigan, and also in Washington, Michigan.
Okay.
I have offices there. Pardon?
Are all your sessions in person?
They don't have to be, but typically they've been.
Okay. Cool. So flexibility and everything there. So is this, so we're talking about the gastric band. This is a physical, sometimes, the alternative is a physical surgery that can be implemented, but you've got a method that we're going to talk about that allows people to have similar results without the surgery.
Yes. In this program, I actually take the client into a surgical room. You hear the beeps and the sound at the backgrounds of an operating room. And I install them a band around their stomach. I'm sorry. And I put this band around their stomach, which decreases the size of their stomach and makes them able to eat less and control the amount they eat and feel full and satisfied early on. It also, with the hypnosis, I'm also giving them a lot of support and changing their mind path for dieting and changing them their habits and taking care of the whole body and mind, not just the body.
Yeah, there's always a mental component as well as a physical component, and everything that in general that we seem to be sold is all on that physical component, whether it's portion control or don't eat this or eat a lot of that or limit this part of your diet or whatever, is all focused on that physical. So having methodologies that also cross into the mental element, which is really, we know, and anybody that's likely to attend this talk most likely knows, that's the biggest limiting factor that we're dealing with as people. This stuff fascinates me. It really does, because as I've talked about many times on this podcast, I'm an entertainment guy. I go do stage shows. I make people do silly stuff. I make people laugh. People laugh at me. But when it gets down to the serious stuff and really just having that understanding, this one's probably one of my favorite to kind of look at, because I've done some research on it. And, as people, naturally, we are born ready and able to regulate ourselves and ready and able to regulate our diets. And in the situation that comes into play here, stop eating when it's time to stop eating. But culturally, we've conditioned ourselves out of that. We've created things for kids growing up, like the Clean Plate Club and, all of this other stuff that has worked against that, and almost like a slow roll hypnotizing ourselves to be unhealthy over time. And this is designed, at least any of the research that I've done into it, correct me if I'm wrong, to reset that and get back to that original healthy mentality, healthy way of being. And it's almost like a reset button on the way things always should have been if it hadn't been messed up.
That's true. And a lot of people don't even remember when they had a healthy diet.
Yeah.
They just have been eating all their lives and they continue to do so. But with this program, it really resets the mind, the thinking, the actions, the habits. It brings it all together for a client and gives them an easy way to lose weight without giving up the foods they love, without the yo-yo dieting, without judgment from, I joined clubs or practices to lose weight and they just blamed me. You ate the wrong thing, you do this, you do that. This program doesn't put judgment on you. It just gets you in a frame of mind where you're ready to work at it, you're ready to take responsibility, and your beliefs are changed. You don't have to belong to the Clean Plate Club anymore, and you can just follow some simple rules like taking vitamins and drinking water and getting a piece of clothing that you want to fit into, because that gives you the frame of mind that you're going to get smaller and you're going to fit into that outfit or that belt or whatever it is. So it's a good program. It makes it easy for the changes. We do it over 4 sessions, and I've had really a lot of success. I give 2 support videos. One is at the beginning that just reinforces what I'm putting in their mind. And then the last one is after the program, and many people that were successful listen to this recording many times throughout. If they start gaining weight, they just listen to the recording and they're able to get back on track very easily and keep the weight off or lose the weight again, whatever it is. And I do have a support group, so if they want to come in and meet once a week, they can, or once a month. And I charge a lower cost for that. And then that keeps them on track, you know?
Yeah, the accountability is oftentimes a key with stuff like this, whether it's the way that you eat, the way that you know, if you're trying to go to the gym or any of those kind of things, that accountability, when we're out there on our own, sometimes that's where it all tends to fall apart. But so this sounds like, I mean, from a practitioner standpoint, because obviously we are today primarily talking to folks that might want to add this to their clinical practice. It's 4 sessions, and then you're sending folks on their way with supplemental materials, and that's it.
That's it. But, you know, I did start out with having a meeting once a month for those that wanted reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And typically for that, I try and get a lot of people in the group and then charge a very low amount, not the same as the 4 sessions, but charge a low amount to get them back and staying on track.
Right.
And I'll do hypnosis about weight loss, about feeling good, about changing your feelings. So the people that were most successful attended these monthly sessions, and then they kept the weight off for years.
So I've got an interesting question for you, because I always look at all this stuff from a business-minded standpoint, and I really think that anybody that's considering adding this to their clinical practice, I mean, they're running a business, so they should probably look at it at least somewhat in that same light. When you would have, or when you do have people in for those monthly group reinforcements, let's call them, is that, how often do you have people that will show up to there? Hey, we've done great work on the weight loss goals. We're maintaining it. Of course, that's why I'm here and I'm in the door. Can you help me with some other problem that they're having? I mean, is this an area that sometimes becomes a conduit to getting repeat business in other focuses from existing or previous or wherever they fall in the status?
Yeah, I don't.
Clients?
I'm sorry, I don't do that in group sessions, but if they want individual sessions, I give them a discounted rate and get them into other areas, because sometimes, you know, even though we're changing habits and beliefs and the mindset, you know, there's other struggles they have that may interfere with the weight.
I mean, a lot of
gain
times
and-
people just have a laundry list and they show up and say, this is what I need to attack first.
Right, yeah,
No,
that's
and as
always
soon as
nice when you
that's-
have that. That's
Okay,
always nice
cool.
when you have that. Sometimes they've gone through the weight loss program and the virtual gastric band program, and then they might want to give up smoking. And then they might want to address another area of the life. One of the things that I do that I really enjoy doing is timeline therapy, which goes back and eliminates a lot of things from the past. You know, you don't have time to do that in the 4 sessions, but you know, if you had severe trauma in the past, that might be adding to the weight problem.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would I would recommend timeline therapy, and then again, it's still like 4 sessions because it's deep. I mean, it's really deep, but it really clears out a lot of the problems you had in the past, so that you're not still working with those.
Right. Yeah. And that's important, because people don't always know why they are the way they are, or what it was that got them into the situation that they're in now. So your presentation upcoming 2 months, a little less than 2 months now in Michigan, what's that going to look like? Somebody walking into that room for your talk, what are they going to get out of it? Are we going to go through the whole, what a session looks like? Are we going to, what elements of this are we learning in Michigan?
Well, I show a picture of the gastric band on the stomach in case somebody hasn't ever seen them. I'm
The
going
actual
to,
physical surgical one.
it's just a picture of
Well,
them.
but a
It's
picture of
not
it,
a
right.
surgical one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll take them through all 4 sessions and kind of give an overview of what each session does. And they'll see that it brings in everything, past habits. It brings in what you feel like, what you look like. So it brings in a lot of different aspects in each session. And it's all meant to get you to the point where you can lose that weight easily and effortlessly.
So for somebody that's been doing clinical work for a while, this, not me, because like I said, I'm just the silly stage guy. But for somebody that's been doing clinical work for a period of time, this sounds like a plug and play almost blueprint that you're going to give people.
Yeah, I'm not giving them all the verbiage because as we all know that it's the words that you say that help with the shaping of the mind and bringing the conscious and unconscious together. So I don't go through the whole thing because it would take me a lot of time and you can't do
Right.
that in an hour, but it'll give an overview of it and what it's like. And then I can answer questions. And if they're interested, I can talk more about it. I learned this in 2011 from Sheila Granger, who's the pioneer of this program. And I went to her class every day for like a week to learn everything.
Right.
So it's not something I can do in an hour, but I'll give a nice overview so that they can see the areas that we're working with. And it really does complete mind, body, and physical appearance. It all puts it all together.
Fantastic. Super valuable. So again, anybody who hasn't registered yet, there's the link right below here. It's also going to be, if you're watching this as a replay on YouTube or another format, it should be in the description. Just click right on in there and it'll take you there. Registrations as of the time that we are live streaming this are still open. I know that Dan's got the price going up at some point in time. It may have already happened. I've been lined up for the conference for quite some time, so I don't personally track any of those, but I do know that the price is going up at some point in time, or maybe already has. So get on that and register. It's a super fun time, a great time to network. I appreciate your time. Any last things that we should add in here before people hop on over there and register to the conference if they haven't already?
Well, I just want to say that last year was my first hypnosis conference, and fortunately, it was in Detroit, real close to home.
Yeah.
And I was just fascinated about the amount of topics and the people. The people are so smart and have so many abilities and so many things that they can work with to help the clients. And you learn so much.
Yeah.
I learned so much. And I also had, as a plus, they took photographs. I got the best picture of me that I've had in my life. And I don't think I did a podcast, but it was available to me. And it's just worth every penny of the money you spend for the conference because you learn so much.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a real brief second, and then we'll leave here. I mean, you're teaching on a topic that when you went, and of course you're not doing the intense training on it, but it should be for somebody seasoned, kind of the bullet point framework pieces that they'll need to put this together. But the conference itself, where you're going to get this from you and everything else that everybody else is offering, is $200. When you took, and we didn't talk about this, so maybe this blows up in my face, but when you took this training back in 2011, the very first time, I bet it cost you a lot more than $200.
Oh yeah, it was 600.
Yeah. So this talk alone, you're going to get more value out of it than you're paying for the whole conference. And you get to go to more than just this talk. You get to go to whatever talk you want during the schedule. And I can guarantee you there's tons, like you said, tons and tons of fantastic stuff. There is clinical, there is stage, there is all sorts of really just not even like directly traditional hypnosis, mind, body, spirit work that's happening with some of the presenters and vendors and practitioners, like some really, really cool, really, really valuable stuff. And again, it's all there in one place. You stay in a hotel, you use the walking bridge, you're there. You don't have to worry about commuting everywhere or all over the place to get where you are. Super fun time. I'm looking forward to it. It's been last year was the first time I attended the Michigan conference, and it's etched into my calendar now. As soon as Dan gives me the dates, boom, it's done, blocked off.
Same here.
Yeah, totally worth it. So awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing this with us and everybody out there. Again, if you are interested in learning about any of this stuff, but specifically from Ruth and this hypnotic gastric band, which is super valuable. And I mean, you're doing something in and out in 4 core sessions and then maintaining with people. Fantastic stuff. So come down to Michigan, over to Michigan, up to Michigan. That all depends on where you are when you're leaving. But we'll see you there. It's going to be a ton of fun. And yeah, again, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. And
Thank you.
We'll see you there. Be well, everybody. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Between Two Minds Behind the Scenes podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media under Between Two Minds with the number 2 instead of TWO, or under Enter the Impossible. Thank you, and we hope to see you back for the next episode.